When people talk about Alabama, what often comes to mind are the vast cotton fields, the long civil rights history, or the ever-popular college football team. But behind those highlights lie untold stories from small towns that rarely get mentioned. From Camp Hill, shaken by storms, to Pine Hill, surrounded by poverty, here are 15 of the most remote and struggling towns in Alabama. Not because the people are lazy or helpless, but because they've long been left behind by outdated structures and systems. Once known by unusual names like Burnt Bull and Ashbank, this small town eventually settled on Camp Hill, inspired by its past as a favorite camping spot. With a population of about 940 people, Camp Hill is a true picture of a remote, neglected town. The cost of living is relatively low, but that doesn't help much when nearly a third of its residents live below the poverty line. The problems don't stop there. The town's infrastructure is fragile and outdated, with frequent water pipe leaks and broken sewage systems being part of everyday life. And as if that weren't enough, a hailstorm in 2023 destroyed many rooftops and damaged vehicles across the town. Tucked away in northwest Alabama, Lynn is like a small dot that's missed by progress. Life moves slowly here, and not in a peaceful way. Broken roads and a lack of public facilities make many residents feel truly cut off from the outside world. Most people rely on seasonal or low-paying jobs to get by. It's no surprise the poverty rate is high, and job opportunities are hard to come by. Even more heartbreaking, young people are leaving the town mostly filled with older residents. In the heart of Lowndes County is a small town called Fort Deposit, where life feels tough from the moment the day begins. With a population of about 1,030 people in 2025, the town faces serious economic challenges. More than 40% of the population lives below the poverty line, and the average household income is only about $20,000 a year. That number paints a clear picture of the daily struggle in Fort Deposit. Although it once had a local airport, the Fort Deposit Lowndes County Airport, that facility is no longer in use. It's a clear symbol of the lack of investment and attention given to this town. Sanitation and waste management issues also pose serious threats, worsening the quality of life and health for the residents. In the northern slopes of Alabama, Carbon Hill once held big hopes from its mining-filled past. But in 2025, the reality is quite bitter. The population has shrunk to around 1,715 people, down about 2.3% since the 2020 census. More concerning, the poverty rate has reached 35.3%, more than double the state average. That means over a third of the residents live below the minimum income line, in a town where the infrastructure is also overwhelmed. Waste problems and a failing drainage system are recurring issues. Flooding and periodic damage have even forced schools and local businesses to shut down temporarily. The economy has also taken a hit. Between 2022 and 2023, the workforce dropped from 597 to 536, a decline of 10.2%. Sprott might not come up in everyday conversations about Alabama. This small town, located in the central part of the state, is more often just a dot on the map than a lively place. With very few residents and little to no major industry, Sprott feels like it's moving in slow motion. People have to travel long distances just to shop or see a doctor, as there are almost no essential services available nearby. Clio may once have been widely known for one major name, George Wallace, the former governor of Alabama, who was born in this town. But beyond that piece of history, Clio today faces a far less glamorous reality. With a population of about 1,188 people, the town has a poverty rate of 35.8%, a striking figure well above the state average. The median household income is only $29,781 per year, leaving many residents dependent on seasonal or low-wage jobs that offer little stability. Even more concerning, the unemployment rate in Clio stands at 11.6%, far higher than the national average. Hartselle isn't as small as some of the other towns on this list. Located in the heart of Alabama, its population is relatively larger, and the surroundings look a bit more developed. But don't be fooled by its size. The challenges this town faces are still significant. Quality job opportunities are still limited, and many residents rely on agriculture and small industries, two sectors that help keep the economy going but aren't strong enough to lift everyone up. Modern infrastructure also hasn't fully reached the area, leaving Hartselle stuck in the middle, not completely left behind, but not moving forward either. As the county seat of Tallapoosa County, Dadeville should be a center of regional progress. But with a population of around 2,881 people, the town instead struggles with issues that make it feel remote and stagnant. The poverty rate here is 17.8%, still higher than the state average. Many residents struggle to meet basic needs, and development moves slowly. There have been small improvements like installing streetlights and air conditioning in public facilities, but it's not enough. Damaged roads, limited healthcare access, and a high obesity rate reflect a lack of access to a healthy lifestyle. Lafayette, Alabama is known as the birthplace of legendary boxer Joe Louis.
This is Jim Stevenson taking you back to September 24th, 1935. New York's Yankee Stadium. Maxie Bear, former heavyweight champion, meets Joe Louis, the young sensational brown bomber.
Although it serves as a county seat, Lafayette struggles with a weak economy. There aren't many reliable job opportunities, and the average income is relatively low, around $32,999 per year. Many in the community rely on low-wage work, and unfortunately, the main economic sectors that could support them are almost non-existent. Poor infrastructure makes things worse. Low property values reflect the lack of investment, and limited government attention adds to the town's inability to grow. Roanoke is a small town located in Randolph County in the eastern part of the state. With a population of around 5,434 people in 2025, Roanoke faces a range of challenges that leave it isolated and less developed compared to other towns in Alabama. Although it has a public airport, Roanoke Municipal Airport, the facility does not support commercial flights, making access to the town limited. In addition, about 35% of the town's road infrastructure requires major repairs, which can affect residents' safety and mobility. The poverty rate in Roanoke reached 16.3% in 2023, slightly higher than the Alabama state average. Located in Blount County in northern Alabama, Blountsville is a small town that seems caught between hope and stagnation. Although it lies along the strategic route of U.S. Highway 231, it remains difficult to access, mainly due to a lack of public transportation and digital connectivity, two critical aspects of a decent modern life. With a population of around 1,814 people in 2025, the poverty rate in this town stands at 15.6%, while the average household income is only $46,055. There have been efforts to improve things, such as the city council installing streetlights and air conditioners, but these small steps haven't yet addressed the broader infrastructure problems. In the past, Verbena was known as a getaway for Montgomery residents looking to escape the hustle and bustle of city life, especially in the late 19th century. But now, this town in Chilton County seems like it's been resting for a bit too long. The estimated population of Verbena in 2025 is around 3,185 people, with an average age of 36.4 years. But behind those numbers lie serious challenges. 18.9% of residents live below the poverty line, and the job market has shrunk by 3.5% in just the past year. Education is also a concern. The high school graduation rate is 86%, which is decent, but only 8.2% of residents hold a bachelor's degree or higher, far below Alabama's average of 27.8%. In Wilcox County, southern Alabama, stands a tiny town called Pine Hill. Its population is only around 684 people as of 2025, with an average age of 39.2 years. The community here is made up of 57.1% Black or African American residents and 39.6% white residents, a mix that adds depth to the social identity of this small town. Unfortunately, the economic numbers paint a grim picture. The poverty rate is 41.8%, and unemployment has climbed to 11.6%, nearly double the national average. Even though the average household income is around $43,359, many still struggle to meet basic needs. Located in Cherokee County, Cedar Bluff is a small town with a strong historical footprint. Since 1972, it has been listed on the National Register of Historic Places, with preserved sites like the Cornwall Furnace, a remnant of its 19th century past. But history doesn't always guarantee prosperity. The poverty rate in Cedar Bluff is 25.1%, while the average household income stands at $48,784. Interestingly, the median property value here is $203,000, higher than the Alabama average. Ironically, though, many homes were built before 1980 and are in need of major renovations. As the administrative center of Lawrence County, Moulton carries historical significance through the Moulton Courthouse Square Historic District, a landmark that defines the town's identity. But daily life here is mostly driven by manufacturing, healthcare, and retail, the backbone of its economy. In 2023, more than 1,000 people are employed in Moulton, yet the unemployment rate remains high at 11.6%, signaling that the job market isn't absorbing enough of the local workforce. Another pressing issue is healthcare access, with 15.9% of the population lacking insurance, a clear sign of inequality in public services.